Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about Beyond the Gates Season 2, Episode 102. Now, before we begin, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I post. All right, so we start the episode off with Vernon on the phone with Victor, and he's thanking him for agreeing to be the keynote speaker at Martin's fundraiser. Um, when they get off the phone, Anita comes in wondering who he's talking to. He doesn't tell her right away. He tries to get her, he gives her a little bit of a runaround, and then he finally tells her that Victor agreed to talk, and they say, you know what this means. They're happy about it. They talk about how they know Victor, and how he came into their lives or whatever. They start to discuss the fundraiser planning, and they wonder when Martin is supposed to be there because he's supposed to be coming over to talk. So we see Martin, he's at home and he is talking with Shonda, and they are making the seating chart for the event. They talk about Devon and Abby coming, and then Jack, Diane, and Kyle Abbott are also coming. Um, Smitty comes in and they talk about, they no, I'm sorry, they show him the seating chart, and he tells them not to put Victor and Jack together. So he gives Shonda the Cliff Notes version of their history, which is they don't like each other. They've been going back and forth for years, decades at this point, or whatever. So they talk about Smitty's article and how it's going to be a 5-part series now, and Smitty will be there, and then Smitty tells him, he'll be there to greet the people, and then he'll slip out and no one will notice. Shonda is scared, but Smitty lets her know that no one will notice him leaving. He's gonna be slick about it. He's gonna be slick about it or whatever. So we see Joey. He's at the casino with Randy, and they are talking about getting extra security in place for his meeting with the impaler or whatever. Vanessa walks in and overhears, and she's mad because he didn't tell her about the meeting. She says she's been trying to show him that she's an asset, but he doesn't want her to have any dealings with this. She tries to get him to tell her what's going on, but he doesn't. He tells Randy to take her home. She isn't trying. She's trying to get Joey to change his mind, but he isn't, and but he won't budge on it. He tells her she's gonna have to leave either the easy way or the hard way. He tells Randy to come get her, but she tells him, "Don't touch me." She'll leave, so she leaves, and Randy follows her. We see Vanessa. She's at Joey's place. Randy is there with her. They talk about Doug, and they reminisce about their love and friendship with him. She says he's loyal, and that's what Joey needs. And he needs to go back. He needs to go back and be there for what's this man's name? For Joey. Sorry, y'all. So we see Naomi. She and Jacob. We see Naomi and Jacob. They're in bed. She misses this, and I don't know why she misses this because y'all was always every other day you was in bed with this man in a hotel. So you missed y'all being in y'all's bed together, but y'all was still seeing each other while he was undercover. So what you miss, girl? But okay. So he wants to stay in bed all day, but she has to go meet Ashley. He asked how's Ashley doing. Naomi says, it's tough keeping all this in. Oh no, he says it's tough keeping all this in. She asked if he's talking about Ashley or himself or himself. Naomi gives him a little pep talk, but Jacob isn't hearing it. He talks about all the times that he's about Derek and having that image of Derek passing in, in his arms or whatever. Naomi tells him that Derek made his decision and he should honor that choice and not let his sacrifice be in vain. Jacob says he'll honor that by putting away all parties that got him taken out. We see because the next part, y'all know I don't care for Ashley, but we just gonna skip around. So we see Jacob. He goes to Smitty, and he wants. Let's see, Jacob. Yeah, Jacob shows up, and he's still trying to figure out a way to get the impaler. He wants him to plant a fake story in his article, but Smitty, he got morals now all of a sudden or whatever. So he gives him another way of finding the impaler by asking the public for help or whatever. We see let's see. Uh y'all, this let me just get this over with, y'all. I'm sorry, I just uh uh okay. So we see Ashley. She's at home. Grayson comes to the door. She goes off on him. He wants to make it up to her. She lets him in and tells him he has 5 minutes. She wants to see how he will talk his way out of this. He says that isn't what he wants. He just wants to make her feel better. And if yelling at him helps her, then go ahead and yell. She calls him an idiot, pathetic, a coward, and a liar. And he kept her in the dark because he knew she would drop him if she knew. He explains it to her, and she cries and says that Derek is gone, and he keeps forgetting to mention that. She says he can't make her feel better. She continues to go off on him. There's a knock at the door. She goes to answer it. It's Naomi. And Naomi says she didn't realize he had company. She says Grayson was leaving. He leaves. Naomi wants to know what that was about. She tells her he came to plead his case and give a half apology, um and that would make her forget that he blew up her life. And I'm just like, that's not what he did, but okay, girl, go off. Naomi says, well, you let him in. Ashley wants to know what she's trying to say. Naomi says, if you were done with him, then you wouldn't have let him in. And maybe a piece of her still wants him in her life. She makes up an excuse. And Naomi says, maybe she doesn't want him. Maybe she doesn't want to take Grayson back because she feels if she does, she feels like she's giving him the second chance that she didn't give Derek. Ashley says she made her choice. She made a choice she could with the info that she had at the time, and now it changes nothing. Grayson's lies are worse. Naomi says the reason why he did it, Ashley doesn't care. Naomi says, well, they both lied and says what Derek did. Um, Ashley makes excuses. Naomi says you wouldn't be saying that if he was still alive. Ashley then throws Derek saving um, Jacob. Though Ashley throws Derek saving Jacob's life in Naomi's face. Naomi tells, oh, and I wrote in my notes, Ashley doesn't like liars, but her best friend is a liar because she's keeping a secret from her family. And that it's still a lie because even though it's whatever, it's still a lie. That girl lying. Naomi tells her that Derek sneaking in was one of the more reckless things he did, one of the more reckless decisions that he's made, and it wasn't Grayson or Ashley's fault. Ashley isn't listening. Naomi tells her he had no business being there, and tells her that she needs that if this has made her change her mind about Grayson, then she shouldn't be with him. But if she's only saying this to punish herself, then it isn't right. And being sad and depressed her whole life isn't going to bring Derek back. So we see Naomi, she's goes to Orphe Jeans and she runs into Grayson and she gives him, they talk about Ashley and then she gives him hope. Child. Yeah, I guess. So we see Joey, I'm sorry, we see Joey, he's talking to one of his other bodyguards about letting Vanessa in and him need to be make sure he's on his job because nobody could get in unless they got the password. Um let's see. Vanessa Vanessa begs Randy to go back and to be with Joey. I talked about that. We see Joey, he's making sure he has protection all over the casino in the back room, and he looks shook to meet the impaler or whatever. So we go to we see Anita. Martin is coming into the house, and Anita's on the phone with Anastasia, who's apologizing for the whole cotillion thing. And she offers up a big donation so that she can come to the fundraiser or whatever. Once they're off the phone, they talk about the call. Then they tell Martin that Victor agreed and he's excited about it. They start talking about his Senate run, and then they start talking about what happened on that country road. Martin is still thinking about oh no, they talk about how no one who knows their secret would say anything because they all have too much to lose. And Vernon brings up Joey. They talk about Vernon taking the debt. Martin doesn't want him to do that, but it's too late. They said it could be for not because they talk about Joey maybe having something to do with the impaler. And if the feds pick him up, then he's going to need a congressman to bail him out. They want to focus on the fundraiser, so they tell Martin to give his speech. So Martin gives his speech, and as he's giving his speech, we see a montage of different people. So he's giving his speech. We see Victor on a phone call talking to somebody about his trip to Maryland. We see Ashley having flashbacks of her different moments with Grayson, when they first kissed, when something else happened when she found when he came over and when he had got shanked. Like, they show different whatever. We see we see Naomi and Grayson again talking, and he tells her that he turned down a job from Leslie to take over Derek's job because he feels like that's something else that he would be taking from Derek or whatever. We see Vanessa looking at photos of her and Joey, and she hopes that everything's okay. We see Randy back at the casino, and Joey is glad that he's there. And then there's a knock at the door, and Joey says you, and that's how the episode ends. So that was the episode. Not a lot happened. It was a cute little, 1-2, just the calm before the storm, so to speak. Yeah, the calm before the storm, so to speak. So we about to get into the nitty gritty of things. But make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I post. Get down in the comments. Tell me what you guys thought of this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one.